I love my job. It is so much fun.
And I know you got to recenter your career multiple times around family and what's going on. Do you have any advice for somebody that may need to shift what they're doing because of something that's going on at home?
I'd say don't be afraid to pivot. I was terrified to make these changes, and I thought I thought maybe I was making a career limiting move in some of these
Mm-hmm.
changes. I mean, I had a mentor of mine from really early in my career when I made this shift to GIF call me up and say, I can't believe you're doing this. This is a career limiting move. Like this, like you'll never, I don't know what you're thinking. And he called me about 18 months later and said, wow, I owe you an apology. I didn't see what you saw. I didn't see the vision. And I think it's really great what you're doing. So it's in all of these scenarios. I mean, I wish I could say I had this brilliant strategy where I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this building enclosure thing and learn my foundations. Then I'm gonna work for a contractor and kind of see what that side's about. And then I'm gonna go. No, they were all opportunities that presented themselves to me. That while I was scared, I wasn't so afraid that I didn't raise my hand and say, okay, yeah, let's talk. And
Yeah.
I made decisions based on what worked for me and my family at that moment in time. And every time I did, I said, well, this is for this moment in time. I don't have to stay on this path for any given amount of time. Like I can change whenever that makes sense. And I think allowing myself that flexibility, that freedom, not saying like, well, if I do this, I'm kind of stuck in this space, was helpful in allowing myself to pivot. And while pivoting can be really scary, it's created some really amazing opportunities that I would have never encountered had I stayed the course, right? Had I been like, no, I'm going to architecture school. I'm going to be an architect. I'm going to take this job that sounds really unappealing to me. I'm going to be miserable for the first 10 years of my career. And then I'm going to, like, I was really blessed to be able to create my own job descriptions at several points in my career and really build something from the ground up. Don't just lean into it. And if you need somebody to bounce these ideas off of, God, call me. Even if we don't know each other, call me. Like, I love talking to people about their careers and understanding, well, what do you want to do? What's your long game? And say, well, let's talk about some steps that could help you get there. And let's see what that would look like and what fits where you are in this moment.
Yeah, because you had coffee and then had a job offer after for a job that didn't exist.
Yes, which is crazy, absolutely crazy, and so fortunate. But yeah.
Yeah. And switching gears a little bit, I know you are super involved in so many different organizations. Are there favorite ones? I know you've traveled so much over the last like month and a half that I think you hit so many organizations and conferences. Let's start unraveling some of those. I know Women in Roofing is probably the biggest one that I see you talking about on LinkedIn, if we want to start there.
Sure. So that was fun. National Women in Roofing started back in 2016. And I was brought in pretty early on. And I was on a committee. I was on the education committee because that is like at the core of my being. So I gravitate to the things that I'm really passionate about. And have just worked my way deeper and deeper into that association and ended up as the chair this year. So that's why you see so much from me on LinkedIn with Women in Roofing. And I'll say two things about it. One is that somebody invited me in. So I can't overemphasize the importance of that. Invite somebody into whatever it is you're doing, whether it's an association, whether it's a study group, whatever that looks like for you. It is amazing how empowering it is to invite somebody to join you and to do something. And then second is what you put into an association, I promise you will get back in spades. I do it because I get so much from it. I love the people that I collaborate with and I work with, and as much effort and work and blood, sweat, and tears you put in, it's unexpected how much you get back, and it's so rewarding. And it is the connections that you're able to make by being involved with associations. And I will say that many of my association engagements have led to job and project opportunities. So really don't underestimate the power of getting involved with industry associations.
Yeah, I know when I was probably not even a year out of school, I had a mentor in my office bring me to a CSI event. And I've been to a number of CSI events, and a lot of people think it's just for spec writers. And I'm like, no, it's for anybody. And now I get to know product reps locally in my area. And when I need help, it's a lot easier for me to call somebody when I know them or I've met them. It's not as scary to reach out to whoever's on the website as the rep and you don't know who they are.
Right.
And a young professional, like feeling like you need to know everything and not trying to sound like an idiot on the phone, to be like, I know nothing, teach me this. Him inviting me to those made it a lot more accessible, especially to a young professional that may be unsure about where to get involved or who to get involved, or being the youngest person in the room,
Mm-hmm.
you know, different things like that. But
Very true.
What fun initiatives do you have this year as chair?
So I actually just finished, we just had the National Women in Roofing Conference about 2 weeks ago. And so that was my swan song, as you would say. That was the end of my term, and I handed over the baton to Anna Anderson, who's now the incoming chair. So I'm the immediate past chair of National Women in Roofing. But our biggest thing is defining our legacy projects this year. And so it'll be exciting to see where that goes. We are fairly confident that it is going to be very focused on inspiring and engaging the next generation. And how do we get them excited about the construction industry? How do we get girls in middle and high school to start thinking about careers in our space? So I'm really excited to dig in and see what we can do with that.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you're doing manufacturing, trades, contractors, hitting everybody.
Yes.
Because the numbers are astonishing. I know it's 40% of the trades will retire by 2030.
It's terrifying. We have a massive labor shortage.
And so it's like, okay, you think buildings are expensive now, like the trades are going to be in such short supply that you got to be able to find somebody to build the buildings to get them going. So check out the full discussion from this bite of advice here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more mentorDINO content.